A stranger touched your dress on purpose. What they did next with it is terrifying. Archangel Michael says, someone has stepped too close to your energy field, and the reason is more sinister than you can imagine. It began as an accidental brush, a stranger's fingers sliding across your dress in what seemed like a harmless encounter. But this wasn't a mistake, it was a ritual in disguise. That simple contact with your dress was not accidental, and what followed will send shivers through your spirit. The person who did it had already studied your path, watched you from a distance, and waited for the exact moment your guard would be down. What they collected from your dress wasn't just fabric, it was a sample of your energy, and they used it to open something dark. They took that small thread, tucked between their fingers, and placed it into something that resembled a vessel. That vessel was not of light, it carried markings, symbols, and an evil intention. What they did with it next began a dangerous ripple in the spiritual realm, one that tried to send confusion and weakness into your soul. By the time you felt dizzy the next evening, by the time you began forgetting simple things, it had already begun. Your energy was being siphoned, your aura marked, and you were under the radar of a dark observer. But you didn't know because it didn't come with screams or thunder, it came silently, like a fog wrapping around your peace. Type Amen to get blessing 333. Archangel Michael says, the hands that touched your dress have touched many others before, but they chose you this time because of your light. You carry a glow that was sensed from miles away, and this person was trained to collect that glow in pieces. What terrified them most was not what they stole, it was what happened after. As soon as they used what they took to try binding you in spiritual delay, something struck back. A shield was activated, one they didn't know existed. The moment they lit the dark candle and began their chant, the flame exploded and vanished. Your energy was not just protected, it was watched by heavenly forces, especially when you had no idea. The thread of your dress began to glow inside that vessel, and the stranger who had once acted confidently began to tremble. They dropped it and fled, but the echo of their dark action still lingers. Type Amen to get blessing 444. You may have noticed how people around you began to act strangely. Since then, someone you love might have grown colder, or a door of opportunity may have slammed shut for no reason. These were the aftershocks of the spell, not fully complete, but enough to cause tremors. They used your dress to mark your location, like a beacon. From that point forward, spiritual watchers began circling. You may have dreamed of shadows, may have sensed sudden unease when alone, or even lost something important. These were not coincidences. But the power that surrounds you now is far greater than the force that tried to harm you. Your angelic protectors have gathered. The clouds have moved, and light has begun to pierce the dark mist they tried to create. Type Amen to get blessing 555. Archangel Michael says, their plan to trap you through spiritual mimicry is failing. They tried to use your scent, your cloth, your essence in twisted prayers to replace your destiny with delay. But what they didn't expect was the spiritual rebellion your soul would initiate. Each day you rose, despite emotional attacks, broke their curse bit by bit. Each time you spoke your truth, stood in your power, or smiled despite heaviness, their ritual cracked. The vessel they used now sits broken under the bed of a person who regrets ever trying to bind someone chosen. What started as a touch on a dress has become the unraveling of their own secrecy. That person who touched you was sent by a woman. They were not working alone. A female figure orchestrated the plan, jealous of your blessings, bitter about your name being spoken in circles she thought she'd control. Type Amen to get blessing 666. They planned for your downfall to happen quietly. A slow fade. A life undone not through disaster but through confusion, disconnection, and inner torment. But their timeline has been reversed. You are being restored from the root. That dress you wore, burn it if you still have it, because it carries not only their intent but the energy of your triumph, and it must be released properly. The spiritual fire around you has intensified. Even if you don't see it, it has scorched every rope they tried to tie around your mind, your heart, and your home. They underestimated the power of your name in heaven's registry. Type Amen to get blessing 717. Archangel Michael says, you are not to fear what happened, but you are to understand, this was more than an accident. It was a planned spiritual theft, and the thief is now facing severe consequences. They're having strange dreams now, of fire, of light, of being chased. They wake with cold sweat and whispers they can't explain. What they tried to summon has turned on them. There's a reason your name has become harder to speak in certain rooms. There's a reason you felt a recent shift, as if time itself is resetting. Your life's direction is being recalibrated, and your divine path is being re-cleared from scratch. Type Amen to get blessing 818. Comment if you felt this shift already. You may have noticed certain people backing away without reason. That's because the energy sent to drain you has bounced back and exposed who was feeding from your glow. That person's relationship with their mentor has shattered. Their connections are crumbling behind closed doors. The more they attempted to hide what they did with your dress, the more their own darkness swallowed their peace. You don't have to do anything for justice. Your angels have already written the decree. Their hands will shake each time they try to mimic your grace again. Type Amen to get blessing 919. Their plan was to use your aura for profit. They saw that your name was about to be offered in front of a major opportunity. They wanted to hijack your path, make a version of you without your soul in it, and feed off the benefits while you wandered in fog. But the ritual failed. The mirror cracked. The name they tried to steal refused to echo, and now their identity is cracking instead. Your spiritual team has placed eyes in the places you cannot see. You are being protected in meetings, in traffic, in conversations, even when silent. Each lie told about you is becoming truth for them instead. Type Amen to get blessing 222. They have a box hidden, somewhere in a drawer or cupboard, where your cloth, a photo of you, and something personal you once dropped were placed. This box was meant to curse, but now it's vibrating uncontrollably. The energy inside it is rejecting them. You are the original, and all copies made in your name are falling apart. The scent they stole is rotting instead of enchanting. The light they tried to trap is now burning them. If you felt heat across your shoulders lately or headaches at odd times, that's your body shedding the last spiritual thorns they sent. But you are healing quickly. Your soul has had enough. Type Amen to get blessing 111. Archangel Michael says, You've walked through a fire set by someone who thought you wouldn't notice. But the flame couldn't consume what God has sealed. Now your crown glows brighter than ever before. The woman who orchestrated it all has begun to lose allies. Her name is slowly being erased in places she fought hard to control. She doesn't sleep without seeing your eyes staring back at her. Your destiny will no longer be delayed. The stolen moment has been returned. The dress they touched was just fabric, but the spirit inside it was armor they could never understand. Type Amen to get blessing 123, and if you're still holding on to confusion, release it now. You were never alone during this battle. Forces greater than any darkness were with you, whispering, shielding, and revealing. Every person who has tried to silence your power is about to face silence of their own. Their tongues are getting heavy. Their influence is evaporating. Walk forward now with awareness. Burn the dress if you still have it. Light a candle and speak your name into the flame, not in fear, but in declaration. This chapter ends with your victory. Type Amen to get blessing 333. If you wish to express your support further, you have the option to give super thanks, with contributions of up to $20. They wanted to mark your timeline by stealing a fragment of your essence, but now they are the ones marked. The ash from the failed ritual still clings to their walls. Their life has entered disarray, and it's not by coincidence, it's divine consequence. The protection on your name has been reactivated. Ancient forces that sleep until injustice awakens them are now circling your life. They don't just shield you, they erase the names of those who tried to mimic your path. Even your voice has started to carry more weight lately. Have you noticed how people stop and listen when you speak, even in casual spaces? That's because you're stepping into your true voice, and the energy that was stolen has returned in multiplied form. What they tried to subtract from your life, heaven has restored sevenfold. That cloth they touched now carries your spiritual DNA, and the mark on it was turned into a mirror. Anyone who touches it now sees visions of what they tried to do. Type Amen to get blessing 744. Comment if you've noticed people acting strange around you, like they've seen something they weren't supposed to. That's because your spiritual blueprint is awakening. The false version of you they attempted to conjure has been rejected by the earth and sky. Even animals have sensed the change in your field. Birds fly lower near you. Dogs stare longer. The air around you carries a weight of awareness. You are walking with higher guards now. The person who touched your dress is now dreaming of places they've never visited, dark forests, broken glass, water that pulls instead of floats. These are visions of their own inner torment, awakened by trying to alter your journey. They are now trapped in a loop. Every time they try to escape what they did, another spiritual door slams shut. Their money is being blocked. Their influence is cracking. The silence they wished upon you is now their prison. Type Amen to get blessing 612. The dress they touched has become a witness. Every thread, every fiber now glows with proof of what was done. That energy cannot be hidden. The spiritual world has already recorded it, and the pages are sealed. You may have begun to feel flashes of memory, of moments you didn't think mattered. That's because your soul is retrieving every piece they tried to steal. You are being made whole. You might feel sudden chills, warmth in the back of your neck, or a flutter in your chest when alone. These are signals that the invisible chains have snapped. What once wrapped around your spirit has now disintegrated in front of angelic fire. A woman is crying in her room tonight, not because she is sorry, but because her power is slipping. She watches your name rise again, and she knows she cannot undo what she has triggered. Type Amen to get blessing 828. Archangel Michael says, "Let no one touch what is sacred to you again without discernment." They thought your dress was just clothing, it was armor. They thought you were unaware, but you were being watched by heaven's warriors all along. The dress wasn't just chosen by chance, it was divinely picked by your intuition that day. Your spirit knew something would happen, and even as it unfolded, your soul was already activating defense. They spoke your name in a dark place, but your name is too holy to echo in shadows. Every time they tried, their voice shook and silence swallowed them. They attempted to speak over your future, but their tongue will now bear blisters of consequence. Each word they tried to twist will now reverse and haunt their reality. Type Amen to get blessing 505. You've entered a new phase now, post-ritual rebirth. That means certain things will fall away quickly. People will vanish, things will break, and emotions may flare. It's all part of your elevation. The cloth they tried to use as your downfall has become your badge of divine evidence. If you've still kept that item, burn it safely, and speak these words: "What was mine has returned. What was stolen has burned. What was bound has turned." You are being called forward now, into spaces meant only for those who've survived the unseen war. You are not weak because you were touched, you are powerful because you still stand. The light you carry cannot be duplicated. It cannot be printed, borrowed, or drained. It was sealed into your soul before you were born, and no stranger's touch can override what heaven coded into your being. Type Amen to get blessing 939. Archangel Michael says, "Your name is now surrounded with blue flame, the kind that repels all mimicry. From this day forward, anyone who tries to copy your presence will feel resistance. Their charm will fail. Their power will fade. Let this message be your confirmation. What happened was real. It wasn't just spiritual. It had effects in the physical, the emotional, the mental. You are entering a season of elevation now. That woman who thought she could block your face from being seen is now losing hers in the very room she tried to dominate. Her shadows are exposing her plans. Watch closely. Someone who once kept distance is about to contact you with a strange apology. They don't know why they feel guilty, but their spirit has been shaken. They were once close to the ones who plotted against you. Type Amen to get blessing 121. There's a shift coming in your living space too. You may suddenly feel like moving something, cleaning out an area, or throwing something away. Trust that urge. It is your spirit removing residue. The touch on your dress tried to bring confusion into your body, but your immune system fought back stronger than they expected. Even your physical healing has been speeded up as a sign that nothing will remain stolen. You are going to start receiving unexpected favor. People will open doors for you that you didn't ask for. The same way they tried to take from you without asking, the universe will now restore without warning. They will see your face and feel regret. They will hear your name and grow quiet. They will watch your glow and understand it was never theirs to claim. Type Amen to get blessing 707. That thread they took was meant to bind, but it backfired. Now they are unraveling. They thought it would delay you, yet your timeline is accelerating. The right people faster, dreaming clearer, and rising without even forcing it. This is what happens when angels step in. What was meant to terrify you has terrified your enemies. What was supposed to weaken you has made your essence unshakable. Even their tools are rebelling. The photos, the candles, the sigils, they are failing. You are not just surviving. You are rewriting the script they hoped would ruin you. The dress is no longer important. You are. And your energy is returning, fuller and stronger than ever. Type Amen to get blessing 313. If you wish to express your support further, you have the option to give super thanks, with contributions of up to $20. They underestimated the divine coding written across your destiny. They thought touching your dress would give them access to your spiritual database. But instead, what they touched was something sealed by God's instruction and protected by eternal decree. You were marked for favor, not manipulation. That fabric they handled was stitched not just by thread but by energy, by intuition, by spiritual permission. They crossed a line, and that crossing has summoned the winds of reckoning. Now their steps are being watched. Every move they make echoes into the spiritual chambers where your name is still being protected. They opened something they cannot close, and now that door is behind them forever. Type Amen to get blessing 1001. Comment if you felt their regret hovering around you lately. Maybe you sensed it in the form of strange dreams, flickers in mirrors, or moments of eerie quiet right before your blessings arrive. That is not coincidence. That's your spiritual radar picking up the collapse of a false system. Their protection is gone. The woman who initiated the dark ritual no longer has spiritual backing. Her prayers echo into emptiness, and the forces she once commanded now question her authority. You may soon hear of misfortune in their lives, lost contracts, falling relationships, or unexpected illnesses. These are the consequences of attempting to reverse an anointed soul's journey. What they tried to send to you is now cycling back tenfold. Every time you said nothing but chose peace, you became more powerful than their chants. Every time you cried but refused revenge, the universe recorded it as divine restraint. Type Amen to get blessing 388. There is a record now, one that sits open in the higher realms. Your name is on it, glowing, surrounded by layers of light. That same record will be the evidence when the final reversal is complete. There is a man who was unknowingly involved. He was told lies about you, shown manipulated details, and convinced to play a role in the curse. But recently, he has started having dreams about your eyes, your voice, your truth. He now feels the weight of deception. He is backing away from the woman who used your dress for evil. And though he may never admit it to you, his silence will become your loudest confirmation. If you noticed a strange pull from someone recently, a feeling that someone is watching with guilt, that's him. He cannot unsee the vision he saw when he touched the ritual cloth. He saw your face in light, not darkness. Type Amen to get blessing 771. You are no longer a target, you are now a weapon of divine justice. The same hands that tried to bind you will now tremble at the sound of your name. Their nights are longer, their plans, evaporating. Your dreams are becoming more vivid. The visions you see when you close your eyes are no longer warnings, they're previews of what's to come. You're being prepared for elevation. The woman who laughed when she spoke your name in mockery will now find herself unheard in the very rooms she once ruled. Her voice will echo without response. She will wonder why doors are slamming, and she will remember your name with regret. You don't need revenge. Your restoration is loud enough. It is roaring through realms, shaking strongholds, and commanding angels into action. Type Amen to get blessing 484. Archangel Michael says, "Let this be your confirmation. You are not who they said you were. You are stronger. You are chosen. And you are unstoppable." The cloth they touched has become a relic of their own downfall. You are to move forward boldly now. Your walk must match your worth. They tried to make you afraid of your own identity, but now they're terrified of your presence. The woman is now unable to finish her spells. Every time she lights a candle now, it flickers out. Her mentor has abandoned her. Her spiritual allies are gone, and the only thing she has left is a box of failed attempts to stop you. Type Amen to get blessing 989. Even the weather is shifting around you. Rain may fall gently on you while others face storms. This is not random. Nature itself is responding to your frequency. Urge to cleanse your space, do it. Light incense. Use salt. Speak boldly. What touched me with harm is now touching fire. I release it all, and rise higher. You are not haunted, you are awakened. You are not attacked, you are being honored. And even your enemies can feel the shift. Some of them have already started to act nice again. But do not be fooled, this is fear, not change. They see your glow returning and are trying to stay close to what they cannot control. Type Amen to get blessing 636. Let them watch. Let them witness your rise. You own no explanation. Every step you take now is ordained. You have entered a new timeline. In this one, the cloth they touched has become untouchable. Anyone who tries again will face immediate loss. Your energy is speaking before your lips move. Your hands are healing before your words arrive. Your silence is creating thunder in places where they once whispered curses. A new person is being sent to you, someone pure, someone unfamiliar, someone guided. They will cross your path soon, and when they do, you will feel peace without explanation. This is your reward, love that is not stolen or sabotaged. Type Amen to get blessing 2020. Archangel Michael says, your name is written in gold now. No more dullness. No more shadows hiding your glow. What was meant to humiliate you will now honor you. The moment their hand touched your cloth, the countdown began. Not for your fall, but for your rise. From today, everything begins aligning in your favor. A new cycle of divine appointments, unexpected breakthroughs, and emotional healing is opening for you. You may feel a sudden urge to dance, cry, laugh, or be still. Follow that urge. It is your soul responding to freedom. You've been released. Type Amen to get blessing 3333. If you wish to express your support further, you have the option to give super thanks, with contributions of up to $20.